Harvey Weinstein arrived in court with his fate set to be determined by the jury of 7 men and 5 women. He didn't take the stand during the trial, so the jury had to look at the words of his accusers. The prosecution relied on dramatic, often emotional testimony from 2 women. Miriam Haley, who said Weinstein forced her into a sex act in 2006, and Jessica Mann, an aspiring actress. She said Weinstein raped her in 2013.
We don't have the forensics or the DNA or the video evidence that some juries like to see, so really it comes down to who does this jury believe?
The prosecution also had gripping testimony from former Sopranos actress Annabella Sciorra. She described in painful detail how Weinstein raped her more than 25 years ago. Past the statute of limitations, the prosecution used it to support predatory sexual assault charges tied to Mann and Haley's accusations. If found guilty on either, he faces up to life in prison. But the prosecution's biggest challenge, Mann's complicated relationship with Weinstein.
The defense brought evidence of emails, text messages, phone calls, not just right after the alleged assault, but years after the alleged assault against her to indicate, look, this was a relationship, this was consensual.
One thing the jury can't consider, the message the verdict would send to women in boardrooms across the country. The judge has said this isn't a referendum on the Me Too movement. Weinstein's lead attorney made that point in a recently published op-ed. The direct plea to the jury to ignore media noise drew the ire of the judge and prosecution.
I think it was ill-advised. I see it as an act of desperation to try to appeal to the jury.
In just over 5 hours of deliberation, the jury asked to review some evidence, including a list of women that Weinstein had red flagged and wanted private investigators to look into just before the Me Too scandal broke. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, New York.